weekend I can visit 10 districts. I've gone all over. I know what people are saying. Before UTM came into being, people literally were saying that why they should go and vote. They don't know why they should go and register. It is the UTM that has triggered, that pushed the young people to go and register, because it has given them hope. So this is what they're waiting for. And everywhere I've gone, it's all UTM, UTM, UTM. Next election, mind you, we just did that one of 1994. People just want to change. People just want this country to start moving like the other countries have been moving. Zambia was behind us. Mozambique, they had a war. Tanzania, they couldn't speak English. They were not like us. Today we go all those countries and we look like we're in South Africa. And we look like idiots when we visit those countries. We can't sit down and watch this continue to happen.
So you think the UTM is the answer? Because it's not only going to be the UTM, as I already asked you about the survey, UTM came said, and there are other political players like the Malawi Congress Party, which is also regarded as one of the strongest to take on the DPP.
I don't really like to talk about my Congress Party because I'm a politician, and a politician in opposition must not waste time discussing his fellow opposition party. My ultimate goal is to make sure that we unseat the ruling, which is DPP. So ask me about DPP, I'll talk much. About MCP, I won't talk much, because we're all in opposition. So it's as good as us fighting on ourselves when we're actually chasing a rabbit that we haven't caught. So let me concentrate on hitting on this DPP thing.
Still with your party, that's UTM, which just got registered recently. Although you're saying it's a party that you think is going to make it come next year. But still there have been observations saying that this party cannot make it because it doesn't have the structures on the ground. It needs a lot of time for it to make it next year.
Politics has gone very dynamic, boss. There are things which have changed a lot. There was a time all of us were counting on the structures. It's no longer the case, my brother. When you go into the rural areas, people are now looking at issues. Who is talking sense? What will happen in 2019? There will be a councillor from Independent, maybe MP from Party B, and President from Party C. The very same person who will vote for the councillor to be from PP, maybe for the MP to be from PP, maybe from, say, DPP, and President will come from UTM. The people are able now to follow what is the person saying. It's no longer the way it used to be in the past. They should look at UTM. People are now switching off from watching Man United and start watching a political rally. Have you seen that before?
You have talked about people abandoning international games and virtual rallies which are being beamed in the local media. That could be very expensive. By the way, where is UTM getting all these resources? I know you might not be the right person to answer, but where are you getting the money?
I'm the right person to answer because I'm a member of the UTM. Believe you me, I am still learning, or I'm coming to terms with the reality that I can be a political party whereby you have to fend things for yourself. Since I joined the UTM, I've learned that I have to buy t-shirts myself to share in my area because people in my area are used to receiving t-shirts. Everyone in the UTM contributes for UTM to move. I was actually performing for the fundraising for UTM just a week ago, whereby I saw people donating as much as 5 million, 1 million. These are ordinary people. I was even compelled to also play the 200,000 kwacha because I felt for once I saw people owning a party, people saying I'm part of this movement, I'm doing something. That is a good thing. How politics is done elsewhere. This business of stealing from taxpayers' money and then go buy and sell and t-shirts and start distributing must be done with, must be taken out. UTM is setting an example.
Your president, Rasala Chilima, was recently on BBC where he had a program that had talk. A lot of reaction was actually made after that program. People said he goofed. He actually embarrassed himself because he was unable to articulate issues.
Well, because Malawians wanted him to say what they wanted. They wanted him to start castigating the president. They wanted him to get emotional, angry, and speak like an idiot. But there he was, cool, calm, and collected. He answered questions as they were. When the unnecessary questions came, he was able to ignore them. And when you're wise people notice. Unwise people think you're unwise. But those people like us who have handled interviews all our lives, we have spoken to over 1,000 journalists worldwide. We talk about BBC with CNN, we talk about Deutsche Welle, we talk about everywhere. We've spoken to journalists. He actually delivered that interview. That was very good.
So you think he delivered?
Excuse me, I know that he did, yes.
There have been growing calls of saying if he's a true Democrat, if he's a principled person, the best he was supposed to do was to resign from the government, no more being a vice president of the country, and concentrate on the UTM. But your president has been saying, I can't resign. Any justification for such a position?
Despite that, wrongs don't make it right. But why now? Why didn't you do that to let Bingo, who left his party, may so rest in peace? Why didn't you do the same to Lucius Banda? Why didn't they do the same to Cousin? It's becoming a tradition that presidents fight their vice presidents and they would really love them to leave the office. But it won't happen. We won't allow him to quit. It's not actually him insisting. It is our people who actually pay him through our taxes who are saying he cannot leave. So he won't leave. Period.
Another issue that has been talked about is the politics of castigation. Whenever you're having your rallies, we see some of you castigating those in government, using very bad ways against your opponents. At the same time, you're promoting clean politics. So which is which?
Maybe if we had time, I'd have asked you to define castigation. Because in this country, people don't understand what castigation means. When the person explains matters and puts emotions in there, that's not castigation. Castigation is swearing. If a person goes on the podium, that's castigation. But I've never seen an ATM go on the podium and say, senior members of a certain political parties are bitches. That has never been said by anyone from UTM. So castigation comes from that other end, not from us.
What special qualities of a leader do you think your president, Sawa Silima, does have that you think will bring a difference for the country? Because politicians are politicians.
What takes him out of the ordinary is not a 100% politician. He's a businessman who has been in the private sector and has performed very well. He finds himself in politics because other politicians look at his quality and say, come and help us. And like you said, he really assisted them because he was a brand that made some of us, even when we were in the UDF. But if I were to vote for another party, it would have been the DPP. Why? Because of that gentleman they've taken, because I know him, he's an achiever. That takes him out of the ordinary politician, number one. Number two, he is a man who comes in the open and tells you what he wants to do. I mean, even if you're proposing a woman and you just go and say, hey, baby, you're beautiful, and you return. And another guy just comes and, madam, I would like to marry you. When I marry you, I'll make you A, B, C, D. I will look after you like this. That's the guy who's going to follow. So this is a guy who's coming out in the open, tells us this manifesto, tells us what he's going to do. And we are buying it, and many people are buying it, and that's why he's popular, and that's why people love him.
But some other people are saying he's becoming unrealistic. For example, talking about creating 1 million jobs in 1 year, which is almost impossible.
To some people, everything is impossible. Even the fact that the sun will come tomorrow, they can argue that it won't come out, because they believe it won't come out. When you are limited up to the sky, do not get surprised when others can see beyond the sky. It is them who are seeing beyond the sky. Until it is proven that he has failed, then he can be judged so. But this is a guy who has been in the private sector, whose main job is provide employment, and he's done it before. He knows how to do it. And he explains how he's going to create those jobs. I don't know what the Thomas the Demons of this country want to hear anymore. I mean, the guy has explained how he's going to bring about those jobs. I'm going to revive those companies that have died, and we're going to introduce mega farms. They can do all those things, bring about jobs. Yes, they can.
Let's talk about music. You recently had the Sun Festival. So far, how did that go?
It was a huge success. Everybody is very happy about it. We struggled because we never had sponsorship, so financially it was a disaster. But in terms of delivery of the festival, people came back very happy. And that's our ultimate goal. We are so happy that people enjoyed it. Those that came say they'll come again next year because it was really nice. There was no any disturbances. We thank God there was good weather this time, so we didn't have any other problem. And we were united with our colleagues, the Mr. Entertainers. They helped us very well with the stage. We had nice sound from Mr. Jibade. So everything was very nice. I think we can say we delivered one of the best Sun festivals of our time.
You said financially it was bad? You made losses?
Yeah, we really encountered losses. The challenge is when you don't get big sponsors on board, definitely you're going to have to spend money from your pockets because it involves a lot of artists, it involves a lot of costs. We must confess to you that we made losses financially.
Looking forward as a member of parliament and also as a politician, how confident are you that come May next year, the UTM will form the next government and you'll be a member of parliament for your constituency?
For UTM, I don't doubt. For even me as a member of parliament, I don't doubt because I believe in people of Balaka. People of Balaka are not stupid. They are able to know things that I am doing. I have done my level best in terms of developments. I've done a few school blocks, bridges, roads, boreholes. Most of all, I have been there as their messenger, explaining to them what government says and explain to government what they say. But most of all, I must confess here, I don't like talking about it, but I really donated ambulances which have been doing a tremendous job, which I don't like to talk about. We've really done a lot of work, and a lot of people are admiring us for being so helpful in time of need when they lost their loved ones, and even when their loved ones are sick, they want to go to the hospital. I have been doing that single-handedly with my own fuel and my own vehicles. So put all those things together, people are appreciating. Some may not really be my core work, but I went into those charities, paying school fees for the needy children, people that are really struggling, the widows who have no food. I have really been there. Very soon I'll be actually announcing things that I think I have done in the past 5 years in Parliament. I am sure I'll see myself in Parliament if people are able to see what I did. But I mean, you may want to go to Parliament. If God doesn't want you to, you won't go, no matter how much you've done.
Lucius Banda, it has been nice to talk to you in this edition of the Capital Sector.
Thank you so much.